Yo, what's going on, guys? Yu-Gi-Oh! And Deadlifts here. I just wanted to bring you guys a updated Cool Tune deck profile video now that Harmonia is out. Post Banlist. I haven't really posted this type of video in at least a few weeks, so I figured I would just do an update with a couple of the lists that I've been testing from what I've seen around. This was a good second place list that I did see won a pretty big 3v3. This includes Fallen and Virtuous, Harmonia, Troll. I've been finding Trolls a little bit suboptimal. I've still been having a lot of success with a Purge type of list, even though Purge can kind of shut you down. We're maximizing on the 3 Mourner. Mourner's been pretty good for me. Enigmaster Pack is some secret goo. I know a lot of people use that at the NAWCQ this weekend in TCG. People have been testing that in Cool Tune for at least like maybe a week now, which has been interesting to see. There's a list that also plays no Virtuous, just Fuelos, Imperm. This is very similar to an Italian Nationals list that was running around. I believe that won first place actually. And then I do have this list that did win a Meta Weekly tournament, which has no Imperm, but it does feature Fallen in the Virtuous, Harmonia, Fuelos, just a lot of draw power at the Droll. Very interesting deck list. I'm going to show you guys some pretty cool replays with some commentary, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, this one I believe is another mirror match. This is the list where I'm kind of playing Fuelos. I believe this is the list where it's no Imperm, but he's surprisingly just going to pass directly to me. Or I believe I passed directly to him, my apologies. So he's going to do Signet Mining, Delta for a Rotary, which I have not seen something like this. To which I'm just going to double Fua like immediately. He's going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and bell that because, you know, this gentleman is playing Earthbound Prisoner, Stone Sweeper, which a lot of people are trying to play right now, in Cool Tune specifically, which I think it's kind of mid, just to use it to get Rico. It's not really that great. So I'm going to Imperm the RS off the bat. Could have arguably not done that, but I wanted my Duel's Genesis to resolve. Synchro Overtake, we're going to go ahead and summon the Rico, which is going to go ahead and add us a Rotary. I'm going to go directly into Trackmaker here. Uno Dos reveals the hand. I believe he has an Effect Veiler in hand, but I don't believe any of this is going to matter. And surprisingly, I don't even think he used the Effect Veiler, unless I just kind of read the hand completely wrong. I'm going to extra normal that, just so that way I can go into Visas Amatara here. This is a pretty sick replay, just showcasing the Visas Amatara, because you can go directly into back-to-back, and then boom, you can go directly into RS here. Yes, he does have the Veiler, but it's not even going to matter because I can just back-to-back chain, and we can still just attack for game. That's a good combo, showing the Visas Amatara. Alright, getting into another replay here. I believe we're going first in this one. Pretty good hand. We can kind of play around anything we need to, other than him, obviously. But we're still going to be able to have enough, so normal, you know, Q, summoning the Rico, going off from here. He's going to go ahead and Magnuma on the Q, which makes me think immediately Harmonia. However, he is playing Malice, which is ouch. But we should have enough here. If I'm not mistaken, this game is a 5-turn game. This one, it gets pretty nuts. So we're going to go ahead and end on Zaylen. I'm actually going to go ahead and immediately go into back-to-back here, which is a little bit interesting, and also Loudness War, just mainly due to what I saw in the hand. We're going to set the Called By in the Imperm. If I didn't set the board up like this, we would have not had enough. So this is where we use the double back-to-back in order to kind of just bait out all the interruptions there. So we're going to get Rico at least to get clips, and now we can still make our RS, and we have Loudness War, so our monsters are protected. Make RS here, clip goes ahead and actually banishes his Cryptor, which is very interesting. I'm going to use Loudness War to pop the March Hare while imperming the Chessy Cat. At this point he's going to go into an SP Little Knight. He's going to normal White Rabbit, set GWC, goes into White Binder. At this point I was kind of debating when to use the Called By in the Ash. So at this point, like, I wanted to Ash the GWC, but it makes more sense always to Ash the White Rabbit. Granted, I couldn't due to the chain blocking, but at this point, you know, I was like, okay, he's gonna probably set TB, banish that, which we can then ash that. So that still puts him at a pretty good halt. So he's able to add back some follow-up. He's able to go into access code. The only thing he can really do with access code is pop the loudness war. We end up called buying on the white rabbit. So he's pretty cooked as far as his malice monsters. He's going to just attack in a B2B and pass, to which we're going to get overtake. He's going to Druis Worm on the B2B, which then I'm going to banish the rotary to look at hand and add a KTS. So Q gets banished, or I'm sorry, back-to-back gets banished. Just not really ideal, but it's fine. Q, the extra normal summon of JJK. Most lists nowadays I'm playing to JJK, as you guys saw in the beginning. So we're going to use Mix to pop that. Access code, get it out of here. We're just going to go directly to battle phase, because I know the Druis Worm is going to attack, or pop. So we're just going to set knowing that we're going to play into the next turn. So he's going to do some Radiant Typhoon-ish here, to which we're going to RS. He goes directly battle phase just to, for some reason, just do himself some damage. I think he was just cooked at this point. So we just go direct battle and end it for him. Alright, this matchup I believe is going against Branded. We're going to end up going first here. This list I was testing out the Overtune. Some lists I'll be playing like 3 Duelist Genesis, 1 Overtune, or 2 in 1. It's pretty good for like this reason here. You know, I was able to just summon a Rico for free. I did a very interesting way here to go into Trackmaker just because I wanted to add the additional rotary effect to normal my Q. Granted, you can still do that with you know, the field spell, but we're going to go ahead and make another Trackmaker here just to get the benefit of all of our effects and everything. Also, we're going to just JJK to tribute here and go directly into a Zaylin there. Go directly into a back-to-back there, and put these directly into an RS, just based on what was in his hand. We're going to go ahead and set the Fallen and the Virtuous, give him a good old pass. He's going to special summon the Ecclesia, to which we're going to summon the Rico here. He's going to Albaz effect, we're going to Rico effect to add back clip. Summons the Dogmatica Ecclesia, which we're going to banish negate that with RS. Back-to-back's going to summon back. We're going to make a remix here. Mix effect to pop that. Remix is going to go off, add us back an Ash Blossom. Summon back the mix, adding back a Q. Just to add extra follow-up, he's going to normal summon the Halberd. A little bit of a risky Ash here, but I did know what his hand was. So at this point, I'm going to go into a Crackle. A lot of times in this matchup, Crackle is pretty busted. And Clip is able to do quite some damage. So we end up banishing the 3 Sword Souls. I end up banishing his Mirror Jade. I've fallen in Virtuous my own Crackle here. I'm just going to pause it because Crackle, when it comes back, you can literally just banish 2 cards. So I end up banishing his Albion and Lubellion. So now he really has no massive plays other than going into Rinbrum. So I used Crackle strategically to cut him off while also knowing I could Bell there. He's going to end up setting up his own Rinbrum with Albaz and Grave, which is not really great, but it is what it is. So we're going to set another Fallen and Virtuous from the Albion, which is going to help play around the Albaz. Alright, I got one final replay for y'all going first here. This list I was testing the Rhoda. I think Rhoda's kind of a myth, but it worked here for me. So hey, it is what it is. Granted, I already had Nick's. So he's going to go ahead and max C. Thankfully I have KTS to go ahead and at least kind of play around this to the best of my abilities. So we're still going to just make Trackmaker. We're going to give him 1 draw by summoning the Rico. You know, chain 4 here. Just adding Clip. Looking at his hand, I end up giving him an Ash Blossom. He's playing like Snake Eyes Fire King, which I haven't seen in a while, so this one felt pretty good, just to bully the Fire King Snake Eyes guy. Granted, it was still pretty close, and especially with him having max C. So I end up just setting on this. Right off the bat, I just go directly into Zaylin, because I can still use my Clip and not even have to use Remix just yet. So this was one where I just kind of strategically wanted to pace myself around. So we're going to go ahead and clip here directly into remix, saving basically the Rico and the clip on field to utilize alongside the remix. So he's going to DBL start here. I'm going to go ahead and I deem this a necessary thing to Zaylin, just because I knew what exactly was in his hand. So we're going to go ahead and summon a Q, make a back-to-back here, to which he's going to make the field spell, sending Ash to add the Garunix. Garunix is going to activate. We're going to chain this to summon the mix, and I go directly into an RS here. Also so that I can have the Rico to pop the back row, the mix to add. I can also imperm this here, forces out the avatar, which then allows me to go into my loudness war. He has a tuner engraved, so its effect, the effect, gains to where he has 3,300 attack. He's just going to send some stuff, Trackmaker effect in the graveyard. I'm going to go ahead and RS the Skyburn to negate, bouncing that back to his hand. Original Sinful Spoils effect. He ends up summoning an Ash, adds back Ponix. Ponix effect is summon, and he just goes end phase. At this point, I kind of knew it was over, but I just wanted to bully him, especially having Harmonia. So I just chain back to back to summon the Zaylin. He summons this to destroy all monsters on field to activate Harmonia. And then I end up, I believe, chaining the Zelen to negate, get that out of here, summon that. We're going to pop that. This is just to get things going. Summon Trackmaker here. He's going to summon that, Trackmaker effect. We're going to go ahead and Loudness War Mix to pop that. He protects, which is fine. We had a Rico here. Summons that. He can only pop Loudness War due to the protection effect, so now this just allows us to kind of do some stuff here. So I go directly into the Visas on Matara here, which is just, Visas is crazy. I don't know why people aren't playing this. I know we don't play Reframing, you can play it, but like, guys, Rotary plus like Harmonia, and like, you can always go into Amatara and just break boards and combo off. So at this point, he's just left with nothing. I just wanted to bully this man brutally, and end the replay showing you guys a complete beatdown. So Harmonia is great, Cool Tune's dope. Appreciate you guys tuning in.